Hey guys, welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we're going to be turning the trial chambers into a base. In the last video, I looted this trial chamber and cleaned out the rooms off camera, so now we can start transforming each of the individual rooms. This trial chamber in particular has a total of 9 rooms, those being the main hallway, second main hallway, first snow room, second snow room, the pool room, this weird spiral staircase, the first breeze room, second breeze room, and the third breeze room. So we're going to transform all 9 of these rooms, starting with making a storage room. Now the reason why I want to start with making a storage room is because, as you can see here, I have a whole bunch of chests that are just filled with a bunch of just random items, and it's basically just a dumpster fire. So I feel like if we start with the storage room, it'll help me with all the rest of the rooms because then I'll know where all my resources are. And I think the perfect room to turn into a storage room should be across this hallway. There's this nice open room where I think I could fit in a bunch of shelves. Like right here, we can have rows of chests just going along this area. I think I'm gonna patch up this hole down here. And I'm also gonna mine the breeze spawner right here. So I think I'm just gonna spawn in the breezes and then we'll mine the breeze spawner. I do want to keep some breeze spawners because the trial chambers is the only place where you can get breeze rods from, which come from these mobs. But I think I can still mine this one. We'll have 2 in the other 2 rooms, so I think we should be fine. Because this spawner is going to get in the way of the chests. Okay, that's dealt with. I'm just going to change these back to the green copper blocks. And then we'll patch this area up for now. I'm gonna mine the blocks here that make up this little hallway thing so I can use it for the other rooms. But for now, I'm just gonna patch it up. We'll mine these last stairs. Okay, so now we're just free to start building. I think I'm gonna start by making pillars for the shelves. We can have one can go right here. We'll have that pillar, this pillar, and then this pillar. And then we'll be able to space our chests in between the pillars. We'll have multiple rows of these pillars going across, so one can go here. Just like that. And I'm just going to strip these logs. And we'll also do the same thing on the other side. I think we can get 2 more rows of these. Okay, so we have all our pillars. Now I'm just going to place chests in between each of the pillars. We'll have the bottom chest and we'll have the top chest. And then we'll have a stair, an upside down stair, so it looks like it's holding the top chest. So we can put this here, another one on top, like that, and then we'll crouch so we don't open the chest. And we'll put these here. So that's basically what we're going to do, except we're just going to do the same thing for every single gap. And those will be our shelves. And we also have this raised area. I'm not sure what to do with this. But for now, let me just organize all my loot into these chests. I'm going to place signs on the sides of the shelves so I can write down what's in each of the rows. Now I've finished sorting out all my items into these chests. I've labeled each of the rows of stuff like copper blocks, stuff blocks, as you can see here. Everything's labeled. So now I think I'm just going to repeat these shelves on this raised area over here and then we'll be done with the room. I also added some lanterns on the top of the shelves because it was looking a little bare bones. I just need to go grab some more wood and some glass panes or something. So I'm gonna go to the surface and then I'll come back. I've made all the shelves and now all I need to do is just get item frames for each of the chests. I'll probably do that later because I need to kill a whole bunch of cows for that. So for now, this room is complete. We're gonna move on to the next room. So the next room I'm gonna work on is this main hallway room. Now, this side over here, where you have these pathways, I think I'm gonna leave this alone. We're mostly gonna be focusing on here because I think that this would be a perfect spot for a nether portal. So I'm gonna mine out this area over here, and then we're just gonna get probably half a stack of obsidian to fit in this frame right here. There was a cave system just above this trial chambers, so I'm gonna look for some lava in there. Yeah, there's some lava down there. Okay, that looks sick. Let's go in the nether and we'll get some netherrack to make it spread out like here. To make it look like a ruin portal. I think that would look cool. Let me just make some gold boots. Okay, let's see what biome we spawn into. Just the plain netherrack biome. This is probably the best one. We just need some netherrack. Maybe we can decorate it with some mushrooms too. And some magma. Okay, I think I'm just gonna like randomly mine blocks. And then replace them with netherrack. We'll see how it looks. We can add some magma blocks. I'm not sure how I feel about adding this netherrack at the bottom. I feel like it looked different in my head, but let me know what you guys think. I think it's okay. Okay, so the third room we're going to be transforming is this water pool room. As you can see here, it's just filled with water, and then if you go in the middle, down this ladder, there's a bedroom, which is really convenient. And what I want to do with this room is, since it's basically already pre-finished for us because it has the beds, I want to add coral to this area, as well as some tropical fish, and basically turning this water pool into an aquarium, because I think that would look really sick. For that, we're going to need a silk touch pickaxe, because the only way you can mine coral is with a silk touch pickaxe, so we're going to have to go to the village and then trade with a librarian. I'm going to have to keep re-rolling the trades until I get that. And then we'll go find a coral reef biome. Let's push this guy in here. Okay, that's actually really lucky. I just got that on my third try. Okay, silk touch. There's a silk touch pickaxe. Okay, let's go find a coral reef biome. I'm just gonna go in a random direction and see where it takes us. Okay, there's a coral reef right here. Let's grab some coral to start off, and then we'll get all the fish. Okay, so I've made it back to my base. I'm gonna start by adding a layer of sand at the bottom. So I'm gonna mine this copper at the bottom, and then I'll add a layer of sand so it looks more natural. Now I'm gonna try recreating the corals as best as I can. I'm just gonna place them all along the bottom. Okay, I've placed all my coral. So now I also have sea pickles and some more coral like pieces in here. So I'm just gonna randomly place those around. Okay, now we just need to dump all our fish in here. Okay, there's all our fish. Let me just get some copper to lock this so they can't get out. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's see what it looks like from the middle. Yeah, you can see the fishes through the windows. Okay, that's nice. I'm pretty happy with this. Let's move on to the fourth room. Next room we're going to be working on is the villager trading hall, which I'm going to turn this second main hallway into. Now, getting all the villager trades is going to take a really long time, and I'll probably do that later on my own time after this video. But what we will do is we'll set up this room so that when I do make the villager trading hall, all I need to do is get all the villagers. So, the way we're going to do that is I think I'm going to dig out a bunch of slots over here, like on these walls. We can have this part dug out, so electric can go here, then the villager can stand here, and then we'll have just enough room for a bed, and that should be enough space. And then we can repeat this along this wall over here. So I think we can fit 8 into this wall, and probably the same on the other side. So let me just dig these out. Okay, I've dug out all the holes, so we have 16 for this bottom floor. Now there is 2 more floors over here. We have this middle floor where we can fit 16 more, and then the top floor up there where we can fit another 16. So that'll be like 48 different areas where we can put villagers. I think that should be more than enough for all my books from the librarians, plus maybe some farmers or anything else I need, like the cartographer villager. So let's dig out the ones on these floors, and then we can go from there. The next step is going to be we need to get a whole bunch of beds for all these villagers. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to go, instead of going and shearing sheep everywhere, I'm gonna go to an ancient city because the pathways actually have lots and lots of wool, and I'm gonna need like 3 stacks, so I feel like I can easily get it from there, which might sound like a ridiculous place to go get wool from, but to be honest, if you know what you're doing, it's really not that bad. So I'm gonna go dig under a few mountains and see if I can find an ancient city, and then maybe we can also loot some chests while we're there. These mountains are pretty tall. I think we have a good chance of finding an ancient city right here. Bro, the one time I decided to build my base underground, the seed actually looks nice. Okay, we just dropped straight into one. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's start by gathering the wool. We'll get like 4 stacks, I guess, and then we can spend a stack trying to loot all the chests. Or just some of the chests. Okay, I've gathered 4 stacks of wool, so let's start looting some chests. Now, there's one over here. I think this one should be safe to loot. Okay, nothing too great. What book is that? Swift Sneak. Okay, we'll take Swift Sneak. That's useful. Okay, what's in here? Diamond Horse Armor. There's 3 books. Efficiency, Impaling. That's useless. Okay. Ooh, Mending Diamond Leggings. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. And we got the other side music disc. Okay, that was a good chest. Oh, we kind of activated it. Hold up. There is a Skulk Sensor here, bro. Okay, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. I was getting way too carefree. Okay, we're back. Now let's craft a whole bunch of beds and put all the beds down. Okay, I've placed down all my beds. Something else I also want to add is I think in this spot over here and this spot over here, we can have some cows on this side to farm and some sugarcane to farm on this side. Because we do need a whole bunch of books for the lecterns, which I'll make those later, but I think if we set up some farms here, that'll also make it easier for me. So let's get some dirt real quick, and then we can line it up here, and some water. That seems about good. We'll dig out some space for the water. Okay, let's get our sugarcane down. Also have a whole bunch of bones for bone meal. So we'll do that, and then bone meal this. Now, for the cows, I think I'll do that later because we need a way to get the cows into the trial chamber, which I will do in a later room we're going to be making like a sort of way to get out of the base. So for now, I'll consider this room done. It has everything else that I needed to have for now. So let's move on to room number 5. The next room I'm going to be working on is near this portal room. There's a room this way where I've cleared out all the space in here. There used to be a respawner in here, but the thing is, it was getting in the way of what I planned on doing here, so I got rid of it. We still have one more, so I think we should be fine. But anyways, what I want to turn this room into is a farming room, because as you can see here, I'm running low on food, and I've been trading with villagers to get all this bread, so I need a way to get food without spending emeralds, because I need the emeralds for enchanted books. So we're gonna make our own farm. Now I'm planning on making a triple layer farm, so we'll just have like probably 4 quadrants with dirt, a single block of water in the middle, just going upwards. Just 3 layers of that. I think we can fit 3 layers in here. I have some resources with me. So let's just plot out where the dirt can probably go. This is the size of the dirt plots I'm planning on having, because if you put one water in the middle, it'll reach all the blocks. But I feel like this is a little too big. We might have to shorten it here so we can fit another one on this side. So we can have our farming plots like this, and then we can do the same thing on this side. I'm just using these tough blocks as placeholder blocks. I'm gonna change it with dirt after, but I'm just gonna see how big we should make these plots. Maybe instead of doing 4 quadrants, I should just have 2 sides, because then I'll be able to fit more plots in. This is reminding me of Grow a Garden, because there's 2 plots going like this way. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, how that looks. Okay, the water can go like that. Okay, there's a water. Let's make ourselves a hoe real quick. Okay, I finished this side. It's looking pretty good. So now we just need to do 2 more layers of this for each side. I'll start the second layer at that second line of copper, and I'll start the third layer here, and that should be all my layers. I'm just gonna finish those up. I've finished making all the layers for the farm. There's a bridge in the middle so you can get to both sides, and the water elevators are the way to get up and down, and they also water the plants, so it has like 2 purposes. Now we just need to get our seeds. I gathered a whole bunch from the village, so they should be in one of my chests. Let's start planting them on the bottom floor. We're basically halfway done all the rooms now. Let's move on to room number 6. Past this nether portal, there's a room over here that has the respawner. My idea for this room is I'm going to turn this room into a pet room. So we're going to go get ourselves a pet. Now you'll see the pet we're getting in a bit, but first I want to make this area look a little natural. I think getting pale moss from the pale garden will fit the theme here pretty well, because the tough blocks are a very similar color. So I think it can fit in pretty nicely. So we're gonna go to the pale garden that I saw earlier. The farm I made is gonna take a while to grow some crops, so I need to buy bread from this guy once more. This will be the last time I buy it, though. Okay, here's the pale garden. Okay, I'm just gonna grab some wood and this moss. Oh, we'll take these flowers too. Something I almost completely forgot about when I was making the storage room is the copper golem. You place it like this, and then shear this. You have a copper golem. Now this will sort stuff. If you put items into this chest, it'll basically sort out stuff for us and put it into all these chests. So this is very convenient for the storage room. Anyways, back to that other room. Okay, so I've covered up the breeze spawner because the breezes were getting really annoying. So I just patched it up. It's still in there. But anyways, I made this natural looking flooring. Now what we can do here is basically we can replace, like for example, this block. Put a pale moss block here. And if we bone meal it, it'll spread all over. So we can keep doing this until all the blocks have been taken over. And then the flooring will look natural. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Now it's time to get the actual mob we're going to be keeping in here. So for this, I'm going to go to the nether. We need to go to a soul sand valley for what I'm trying to get. And luckily there's one really close by. Here's what I need. Okay, so we're going to be, as our pet, we're going to keep the happy ghast. Now, I'm not going to keep the big version of the ghast, but in the latest Minecraft update, they added the golden dandelion. So basically, you can keep your baby mobs permanently baby forever. So we're going to keep the tiny ghaslings. I'll get like 3 of them. Let me just look around at these fossils. Oh, there's a bastion over here. I'll probably loot this next episode. It seems to be a treasure bastion, so that's nice. There's another happy ghast over here. I just need one more. There's one more happy ghast. Okay, we have 3, so we can leave now. Now the way you grow these dried gas is you need to put it in water. So let me just make some space. We can do this, and then put some water here, and place our dried gas right there. So that will take 20 minutes to grow. We'll put 2 more. Okay, there's our 3 dried gas. Now I'll come back in 20 minutes, and then hopefully these will be turned into gaslings, and then I'll feed them the golden dandelion, so they can permanently stay as gaslings. So for now, let's move on to our 7th room. We're going to do something a little bit more useful. Across from the farming room, there's a room over here, which looks the exact same. It's just a big open area. I've cleared it all out. Now over here, I think I'm going to turn this into like a common area. So basically we'll have all of our like stuff that we need, like an enchantment table, some furnaces, all the crafting things like smithing table, anvil, grindstone, all that sort of stuff. It's basically just all of our general stuff. So first I'm going to make a spot for the enchantment table. I think I'll do it in this corner. It'll be like raised compared to everything else. So the books for the enchantment table are basically going to go along like this. Then the enchantment table is going to be there. The books will go all the way around like that. So we need to make enough space to fit that at the top. So if we get our copper blocks right here, we can basically do something like this. Three there, three there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then one right here. And then one here, one here. So we can build this up. Now I'm gonna stop here. This is a good enough height. It matches with the entrance. Now over here, we'll just do regular tough bricks. Actually, no. We'll do the green copper for the floor. So we'll fill this in. Okay, that seems like a good platform for the enchantment table. Now let me just go actually get it. I could have sworn I made an enchantment table earlier. Is that the village? Oh, our happy guys have grown up. These guys look so cute. Let's feed you. Okay, let's feed this guy. And this guy. So all of them been fed, so they're gonna stay as this form. And they won't grow up into actual happy guys. So let's get some name tags and name these guys. You can actually craft name tags now, which is really convenient. I'm pretty sure it's just one paper and a nugget. Yeah, 3 name tags. Okay, we're gonna name this one Snowflake. This one Cloudy. And Sunshine, because they all fly and they all look like clouds. Or they have the same color as clouds. So that's this room dealt with. Let's continue on our common area. Okay, we'll put our bookshelves here. Just like that. I need to get 2 more. For some reason, I thought I already made an enchantment table, but I guess not. So I'm gonna have to get more diamonds. So I'll actually do that part later. We'll just make an area for the furnaces and for all my crafting stuff. So the furnaces can go on a floor lower. We can have it connect over here. We'll fill our flooring in with the green copper once again. Now I'll make a back wall for the furnaces. We can just have this going along here. There's our furnaces. We'll add a ladder over here to get up to the enchantment table. Just like that. And now we'll add a floor somewhere for all our crafting stuff. I think I can do it along this side. Just mirroring it. Okay, so I've added this platform up here. I also raised this part of it because it was way too low. Here we have our furnaces, and then here I'm gonna put all like the necessity stuff. Smithing table, cryptography table, jukebox. I added the area underneath the enchantment table so I can put all my books here. Like, this is basically just all the books that I have. There's 2 Swift Sneak books and 1 Density. I'm liking the vibe of this. It's like, it's nice and big, but it's also cozy. Anyways, here I think we can get a staircase coming down, so I'm gonna make that. There's a staircase going down. That's looking good. Maybe, I don't think I need this top part. This top part just looks weird. Okay, that's all I really need for this room, so I think we're done here. We only have 2 rooms left, so let's move on to our second last room. Moving on to our 8th room, past the villager trading hall, there's a room over here, which is the weird spiral staircase that I mentioned way at the beginning of the video. At first, I had no idea what to turn this room into, but then I got an idea because we need a way to get out of the base. So I was thinking that each of these little spots over here, we could dig tunnels that go to different locations. Like we can have one that goes to a mine where we can strip mine for diamonds, and one that goes just to the surface. And we can add more as we need. I'm gonna start by making a railway that leads down to a strip mine and one that leads to the surface. So I'm gonna dig those out right now. So here's a montage of me digging. Okay, so I dug out these 2 tunnels. I'll show you how it works. So we just put our minecart right here. We go down. This will bring us all the way down to our strip mine over here. And then we can go back up once we're done mining for diamonds. So that's working pretty smoothly. And then we have this one that goes all the way to the surface over here. So that's dealt with. Now, I'll add more tunnel systems in the future, but for now, this is the only 2 that we need. So this room's done. We can finally move on to our last room. Now, before I start on the last room, I need to go get a whole bunch of iron for what we're doing in there. Moving on to our last room, down this ladder, there's a room over here. So you enter here, you go down this staircase, and then it leads you to this really long hallway. I don't know why this one's so detached from everything else. But anyways, here, I'm planning on turning this into a beacon room, which is why I gathered a whole bunch of iron. We have 2 full stacks of iron blocks plus 36. So we're going to be building a beacon right here. I made this pedestal for it, and there's a bridge that leads to it. And then over here, we're going to fill this area with lava. And we'll get some striders, since striders can swim around in lava, so why not have some of those? So let's build this beacon first. Now, I'm not going to get the beacon itself, because we're not prepared for that. We're only 2 episodes into this world. So I'll do that later, but for now, we'll have this beacon here. Okay, just like that, there's our beacon, or the base of the beacon. Now let's get a bunch of lava from the nether and those striders. And then that's just the last step, and we're basically done the entire trial chamber. Okay, that's looking pretty nice. I also had some lava that drips from the walls, so it looks more like medieval, kind of. Liking how this looks. And we got our striders. They're just swimming around, chilling. So with that, we're done the entire trial chamber. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. As of recording this video, we're at a total of 14 subscribers, so every sub means a lot. That's all for now, guys. See y'all in the next one.